Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendos, Steve here.
And Larson.
Yeah, welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, notify bell next to it. We also have channel memberships now on YouTube if you enjoy watching the live broadcast of Going In Raw.
Yeah.
You hit that join button, and you get access to all sorts of bonus content, the same bonus content we offer over on the Patreon. At the $5 mark at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. A ton of reward tiers over there, including the $20 Friendo Care Package tier. Look at that. A comic book, stickers.
Oh, there it is.
A double-sided poster and a postcard, all featuring the OG Going In Raw logo. If you're new to the podcast, that used to be our logo.
You know, speaking of new logo, we have a store with shirts with this, the digital print, budget price, as well as silkscreen without, they're still Stephen Larson's established 2014, but
This
it's
is
not
the
yellow,
best
it's
sales
white.
pitch I've
It
ever
totally
seen
is.
in my life.
It's
This is
completely
great.
unprepared. So we have those both at friendomarket.com, available right now.
Right now, also, today, Friday, WrestleBlood 2019, live on Twitch. But the kickoff show featuring the Brian Blade Memorial Battle Royal, this is all W Steve W, will be happening on YouTube. And then we'll be going live with the actual pay-per-view on Twitch. Hopefully you guys can join us for that.
Yes, please.
Keep an eye out for your notifications for all that. Anyways, we're not here to talk about all that business. Although, if we want to keep on talking about this business, we have to make a money. We have to make $1 and a cent in this business, Larson.
And I was making my pitch for the T-shirts. One that looks just like this. One where the yellow type is white.
No, just
high quality silk screen.
All you gotta say, just go to friendomarket.com.
Friendomarket.com.
Including the Going In Raw logo, brand new with brand new sticker
But
pack.
there's one that's budget.
You don't have to worry about all that.
Because you'll be confused. Why are there two of the same shirt? That's why.
It says it clearly, much clearer than that, on the store. Budget shirt, digital print. Official shirt, screen print, high quality,
they're
bright.
both official.
Huh?
They're both official. Like, the digital one is not a bootleg.
It kind of feels like it. No, those are actually really high quality digital prints.
It's the same as Pro Wrestling Tees.
This is a digital print right here.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
I
what
guess
is
so.
that?
No, I think
It's not screen print, though. I don't know what that is.
I don't know that either.
Anyway.
Maybe it's the kind of high quality iron-on stuff.
Yeah, I think it's what it is. Anyways, my goodness gracious.
It's a good shirt. I like my internet today shirt.
What a catastrophe of an intro we just had.
Whatever. This is Friday. We were shooting this end of our day on Thursday.
Talk about a catastrophe, though. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, this is
going on with him?
interesting. So last week after Mania, Meltzer was reporting that former WWE champion Daniel Bryan, the new Daniel Bryan, might be dealing with some sort of unspecified injury coming out of WrestleMania. But again, unspecified, no details. PW Insider has seemingly confirmed Meltzer's reporting, saying, quote, Daniel Bryan was not on WWE TV this week as well. The word internally is that he is dealing with an injury coming out of WrestleMania, but the nature of the situation has been closely guarded. And now WrestlingNews.co is reporting that Daniel Bryan has been replaced on house shows in matches against Kofi Kingston by Elias, and they speculate, with WWE being so quiet about the nature of Bryan's injury, that it could potentially maybe have something to do with the head.
Could be noggin related.
I hope not.
Concussion related.
But they do add, quote, with that being said, nobody in the company has confirmed a concussion or any other type of injury. So let's knock on wood. Anything else for good luck in hopes that whatever injury Daniel Bryan may be dealing with is not related to his head.
Yeah, it's kind of like you don't really want to speculate. I mean,
No. Although when I started reading stuff about them not saying anything and it being very closely guarded, that's like the first thing I thought of too.
well, yeah, that's immediately what your mind goes to. I mean, okay, I just said let's not speculate.
Well,
if it was as simple as a wrist issue, then would that be something that needed to be closely guarded? I don't know. Daniel Bryan, I've noticed this since his return. he kind of wrestles every match as if it's his last.
Yeah.
And it's been a joy to watch. I'll be honest. This has been my favorite Daniel. I mean, obviously, you got to take away the WrestleMania 30 build. If you take that out of the equation.
Oh, in terms of his character work, this is probably my favorite version of Daniel Bryan.
It's been great. And in terms of every single match that he puts on, because of the fact that he's been gone for so long, you appreciate it more. You know that he appreciates it more. And there does seem to be an extra step, an extra spark in a step, you know?
Yeah.
Hop in a step, whatever.
We've seen this recently, and it seems to be the case more often than not these days with internet news sites getting news leaked to them about injuries all the time. That WWE seems a lot more forthcoming. Mm-hmm. We've just seen it recently with of injuries of consequence.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't officially announce anything about AJ's injury because of the sprain. And he missed a week of TV, but you know, they announced Big E's injury,
Nia Jax.
Yeah. But then apparently Sheamus has a concussion he suffered last week, which would explain why he wasn't on TV this week. But again, they didn't make any formal announcement for that. I wonder if it's a situation where their protocol is they are being WWE, that if it's an injury that's going to keep a competitor out for a sustained period of time, announce it publicly.
Or the fact
or
that,
if it's relatively minor,
or if it's relative to concussions,
could be. And that's what I think WrestlingNews.co said, is they typically keep concussion stuff kind of, you know, pretty hush hush.
Yeah, there's been a couple times since he's come back that he's had some scares. I remember the Mustafa Ali 054 spot on him, like basically laying on his head.
Yeah, you need him right in the jaw.
Yeah,
and that first time he did a top rope belly to back suplex. And then I think it was AJ. You know, he reversed it to land on top of him. Looked like he landed right on his face. So his head absorbed all the contact on the mat.
And his match with Kofi at WrestleMania was really, really good. I don't remember any spots where I was like, oh. But then Daniel Bryan wrestles such an aggressive, like he's got so much energy in the ring, and he comes off as so aggressive. I understand that he's a professional, and he's what's that? He's a professional, and he's, you know, he's supposed to make it. Yeah,
that's exactly what you think it is.
He's supposed to make it look like there's a lot of aggression going on while remaining safe, but you know, you can only protect yourself so much.
Exactly. Hold on one second.
We've got breaking news coming.
No, it's not breaking news. It's something I read while I was going through stuff and neglected to note it on the notes. I can see if I can find it now.
Or WWE Star reportedly out with
No, that's about Sheamus.
Sheamus.
This is the Daniel Bryan thing. I think it was on Wrestling Inc. where they said, was it there? I don't remember. Anyways, someplace I saw. Was it down here? Oh, maybe this is it. Yes, this is it. Wrestling Inc. is just saying that he was not at SmackDown in Brooklyn last week. It's reported that he was to be examined by doctors, but there's no news on what they found. So, who knows?
Yeah. I said this since I've had this attitude since he returned. Every single Daniel Bryan match, I'm just happy to get. You know, if they have to keep him off the books, I mean, the stuff that they were talking about with Alexa Bliss was really scary, and she's come back from it.
Yeah,
I mean, she was like talking about, what was it?
Vertigo. I don't know if there were blackouts, but yeah, the dizziness. Yeah.
That stuff was nasty stuff. So, I mean, hopefully it's the kind of thing where, you know, as time goes on, the science gets better and they can make a clearer diagnosis of, okay, you need to sit out for this amount of time.
And Daniel Bryan has very stringent impact testing he has to do after every match.
Yeah.
Every match.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's a situation where he goes back there and he has to do his math problem and he can't do it. And then I imagine he's shuffled off to do a whole litany of tests to make sure his head is okay.
That could be.
And maybe, you know, again, I don't really enjoy speculating on it if it's anything to do with the head. Maybe it's a situation where, like, okay, well, if nothing else, precautionary, you know, if there's any suspicion that something might be going on there, let's go get you all completely tested out.
Yeah, you don't
make sure you're completely in the clear.
Yeah.
Before we even get you back in the ring again. But anyways, hopefully injury is not serious, nothing to do with the head.
Yeah.
And
hopefully he just wants time off.
Could be.
And maybe he just wants time off, and he's like, hey, you know what? I'm a heel. I shouldn't be on social media anyways. I should be, you know, kayfabe. I should be off in the forest somewhere.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe they're just playing it that way.
Being a lumberjack.
but who knows? Anyways, speaking of people who should disappear into the woods, Enzo and Cass might be doing just that because there's this some interesting weird stuff
there's
going
all sorts
on
of weird stuff going on with
with
that
Ring of Honor.
So from the newsletter this week, they said, quote, Enzo and Cass were not at either Ring of Honor show this weekend, nor are they booked for anything announced going forward.
Oh, some people might like them, Larson.
It might be in the single digits at this point. Like, really, who has turned their fortunes around so dramatically? Can you name anybody else who was so popular,
Well, none of the obvious ones.
in the matter of a couple years?
Well, okay, here's the
Seemingly
thing.
nobody likes them.
Who out there has had their fortunes turned so dramatically without really doing a hell of a lot? I mean, there was obviously the Enzo allegations, but then there was no evidence found, so the police couldn't proceed with pressing charges or anything.
Yes. And that kind of coincided with word that he was a bit of a problem in the locker room.
Yeah.
He'd been kicked off a bus,
Yeah.
things like that,
There's, of course, the infamous Simon Gotchberry's Enzo Amore.
which I'm sure everybody's seen. If not, it's probably recommended for you.
I mean, more people have seen that than there are wrestling fans.
Yeah, I think so.
It's been seen by an obscene number of people on YouTube.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy.
But no, and then, I mean, all Cass really did was get released.
Yeah.
There was like some very, very silly backstage sort of drama that leaked about him not
Going
happy
along
with,
on a promo.
No, I was talking about him not being happy with Carmella talking to somebody backstage.
Oh, yeah.
But they were already like broken up or something. Was that Corey Graves that he was?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
That was like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But then, he went super long on that promo, and then...
Which nobody should get mad at that. No fans.
No,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, fans, yeah.
I'm talking about like people turning on them.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean, people just I think just people kind of stopped caring about Cass once he turned on Enzo.
Yeah.
That's really what it was.
Yeah. And
Just no one really cared.
He showed up that one show sort of like in worse shape than he had been, and then he had a seizure. I just felt bad for him.
Yeah,
at
no, I
that
felt bad for
point.
the guy then too, totally.
I mean, honestly, like it makes sort of sense for him for those two to be back with each other because that was when they were the most popular.
Yeah, the circumstances are different now, however.
The thing is, the problem, one of the main problems is, I mean, Enzo has kind of a stink about him because he just seems, I don't know, he just has sort of a stink about him. Like, I get it. Like, they didn't press charges against Enzo because of lack of evidence. That whole situation was just kind of weird. But then he drops like a diss track on his accuser. It's just it with like some of the tackiest.
It's not good form.
No,
Just let it
like,
go.
it's
Just
super
let it go.
tacky. Yeah,
Let it go.
like
Anyways.
there's a way you can properly you can come out of that. Like, oh, okay, well I'm in the clear.
Yeah.
You know,
You don't do a diss track though.
you don't do a diss track. That doesn't make any sense.
Anyways, Meltzer continues. They have been given no future dates and right now are not factored into anything. There were key people very upset with the segment internally and, as noted before, internal divisiveness. Yes, divisiveness, whether to do it. Sorry.
Okay, so in case people haven't been keeping up, I mean,
Here, I'm gonna get to that in a second. The stuff about that Fightful had, right?
well, no, I was just gonna
sorry.
I was gonna lay the groundwork.
Sorry.
So for people who might not be up on Ring of Honor or New Japan, they had a big show last weekend. G1 Supercard is a big Madison Square Garden show. At the tail end, or at the very end, after actually the match, there is a fatal four-way tag team match where the Guerrillas of Destiny picked up the Ring of Honor tag team titles and kept their own New Japan titles.
Although Yano spirited off with them.
That's a complete different thing. At the end of that, Enzo and Cass jumped the railing from the crowd,
Yes.
and sort of attacked the Briscoes.
Yeah, and a huge brawl ensues.
And a big brawl ensued that they tried to keep kind of off TV. It turned out it was a big fake thing. It was a big work because
Security never got involved.
security never got involved. And then it turned out like backstage, they had wanted it to seem like it wasn't.
Well, we're going to get to that in a second, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's
and
what
also
happened.
another thing you mentioned, that Guerrillas of Destiny had no idea that any of that was happening.
Meanwhile, a guy wearing a Rastafarian hat was attacking Bret Hart at the Hall of Fame
Weird,
ceremony
those
down
things
the
happen
street.
within moments of each other.
With moments of each
Yeah,
other.
it was crazy. Anyways, so Meltzer continues. The idea of why was explained last week, but not everyone brought it up. The original idea was to do a very quick bit that would take place in the corner by the guardrails. Enzo was to grab Mark Briscoe, and Mark was to shove Enzo, and that would be it.
That'd be it.
It would be so quick as not to sound the alarms. People on TV may or may not see it, but people would hear about it. I guess the idea, since Enzo did interrupt a WB show legit, was to play off that. Security was then to take Enzo away to make it look real. The idea is that if there was a buzz, maybe they'd follow up, but if nobody cared, it was so short that people would just assume it was real. It got out of control, and right now there are no plans to bring them back, but there are also different people with different viewpoints involved with creative, and it's not clear how the wind will blow. So let me get this right. Discussion, I'm assuming, between Free Agent Z.
Yeah.
That's ENZO and CASS XL.
Yeah.
As they're dubbing themselves now.
Yeah. And then like days after this, they released a video on Enzo's Twitter account where they're promoting a new T-shirt.
Yes.
Of them.
So they're having discussions with whoever the was handling the segment backstage, and maybe even the Briscoes. So I assume the conversation would go, all right, we're gonna have this. Mark Briscoe's come over to you. You push him. You kind of showboat a little bit. Security will come down, take you and Cass out of the arena. Just get some buzz going. Sound cool? Cool.
Now, is he supposed to jump the rail?
No.
Okay.
Am I supposed to jump the rail?
Sorry, should have. Yeah. Is he supposed to jump the rail?
Yeah, am I supposed to jump the rail?
We have a question about the nature of the rail and should it be jumped?
Because a real one would jump the rail.
Is it a real rail? Well, I'm the real one.
I'm the real one.
He's real. The rail is real.
Am I supposed to go to Mark Briscoe and say, how you doing?
Is he supposed to put hands on Mark Briscoe?
Well, you're just supposed to just to shove. Well, I'm a real one.
He's the real one.
I feel like I should be doing a lot more than just shoving.
I'm Big Cass.
No, you're Cass XL.
Oh, sorry. I forgot my new name. Cass XL. We got a shirt. How you doing?
How you doing?
Is there any good pizza joints around here?
Cass is from Queens. He would know that.
I was testing you. There's one around the joint, around the corner. How you doing? 3 slices all folded up. Hey, how you doing?
Speaking of these different viewpoints, Fightful reported on them earlier this week, saying, quote, Fightful Select reported this week that there is some angling and shuffling going on as it pertains to Ring of Honor. Joey Mercury and Bully Ray are said to be gaining influence within Ring of Honor, while Delirious, real name Hunter Johnson, creative input has decreased. My understanding is that Delirious has been booking Ring of Honor for
a long
years.
time. Yeah, ages.
Those that we spoke to expected this to accelerate as time moves on. It could be seen with Enzo and Cass, as well as Velvet Sky and Angelina Love being brought in.
One of them is Bully Ray's wife.
Yeah. Those we spoke to in Ring of Honor say that there was some heat on any number of people who made the all-in deal a reality.
This is my favorite part.
I know.
This is my favorite.
Isn't this something if
freaking part?
If the all-in show was like the wedge that spurred all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
so start that sentence again.
So those we spoke to in Ring of Honor, Fightful that is, say that there was some heat on any number of people who made the all-in deal a reality, as the company ended up helping give crash courses for their upcoming competition for talent.
Now, in their defense, would anybody at Ring of Honor have been savvy to the fact that there was a billionaire family.
Multi-billion dollar
family.
Yeah.
Waiting in the wings to put $100 million into a TV version, an actual wrestling promotion version of All In. In their defense, no, probably not. However, yeah, you guys are a hot property. You're right now, your contracts are coming up. Hey, maybe we'll help you with this show.
You'll be more likely to re-sign with us, and we can work out some arrangement where you can do something. Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
It could be seen as a miscalculation, but for that to be a catalyst for some internal strife within the creative of Ring of Honor, I mean.
In retrospect, does it seem smart now that NXT didn't pull the trigger on the Cruise of Jericho thing? Because there was a lot of elite stuff happening there too. Mm-hmm. And if NXT had their guys in that, oh, hey, here's how you do this as well.
Oh, that was an either or thing. It wasn't going to be Elite and NXT. It was NXT, and when they passed, that's when Jericho.
It was just going to be Jericho and NXT.
Yes.
None of the guys who were with Ring of Honor.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
that makes
No,
sense.
it was an
That
either
makes
or
sense.
thing.
That
Yeah,
makes
no.
sense. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, boy. So this goes to a conversation we had on the NXT recap show.
Yeah.
That we had.
And also a bit on Matt Chat, yes.
And then on this coming Sunday's Matt Chat. In terms of, does Ring of Honor, given this information here, it seems like there is some sort of mess happening there in terms of who's in control.
Yes.
Given that the people that are making moves such as thinking about bringing Enzo and Cass in, Ring of Honor, a company who, mind you, for 2 decades now, has been the definition of spectacular in-ring wrestling.
I mean, that's what really put them on the map, yeah.
That's what put them on the map. That's what they're known for. You
And
look at the Undisputed Era. That's Ring of Honor right there, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
it seems like half of the WWE roster,
right?
an NXT roster at
The
some
current
point.
U.S. champion.
The current Universal Champion.
The current Universal champion.
The former WWE Champion.
Yeah.
You just mentioned that. Kevin Owens, of course.
Kevin
Sami
Owens,
Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
You mentioned Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era. I mean, Nakamura had a match there. It was probably in coordination with New
Yeah,
Japan.
it was. Anyway, there's Samoa Joe, U.S. Champion.
I mentioned U.S. champion.
A lot of Ring of Honor alumni currently in WWE.
And all known for putting on the best matches.
Yes.
Putting on the very best matches.
Yes.
And they're thinking of bringing in 2 guys who are literally known for the exact opposite.
In fact, they just did an interview after this and said, our goal with this is not to put on good matches.
Right. They are, they're fluff guys. They're
As Pritchard would say, they're an attraction.
They're an attraction. Yeah.
Because you have Enzo, the guy that can talk, and you have
carnival barkers.
and you have Cass, who's huge.
Yeah. But neither of them. I mean, Cass it always hurt to watch his matches. Mm-hmm. Those knees of his.
I mean, in fact, we watched a match where his knee gave out.
And then the main thing about Enzo in 205 Live was, yeah, he might bring eyes to the product because he is such an outsized personality. And granted, he's a top-level guy on the mic. He is.
He can be. But he's the type of guy that needs some constraint because if you just give him an open mic, he will go on and on and on. The capabilities are for him to be a really good mic guy.
Yeah.
He needs to learn a bit to not be so overindulgent when it comes to speaking on the microphone.
Well, yeah, if he's got some direction and said,
Yes.
hey, you need to get to the point within this number
But
of
even on
seconds.
205 Live and his transition to the Cruiserweight division, the whole story about Enzo was like he can't wrestle.
Yeah, I know. That was the actual story.
You don't deserve to be champion because you can't wrestle.
You actually can't wrestle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just, I don't know, man. I don't know if you're a guy who, like, for example, we take an extensive look at Luke Harper on Matt Chat. Mm-hmm. If you're Luke Harper, you know, my point about Ring of Honor is this. It's that people have a positive name association with it. And they've got money. I mean, they're owned by Sinclair, which is a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. And so they have money, and they have a depth issue right now. They don't have, and Matt Taven's their world champ. They don't have any main event level guys really to speak of. We're both big fans of Jeff Cobb. We think he's terrific.
Oh, he'll be the main event of Ring of Honor.
And he should be. Because you want to talk about great wrestling, it's that guy.
Yeah.
But there's kind of only one Jeff Cobb over there, and it's just Jeff Cobb.
And here's another issue I actually didn't bring up. Sorry to bring up on Matt Chat is you have guys signed to Ring of Honor deals that I believe are. I know with ROH it's for a year.
Yeah,
that's what I
sure.
heard.
Yeah,
and you have Jeff Cobb, who he signed a deal with Ring of Honor. I don't know how long it's for, but he said that he wants to go to WWE at some point. Mm-hmm. So I guess the worry is you got quite a number of talents potentially on Ring of Honor who were just there for the time being.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
that's a real issue.
It is. No, it totally is. So if you're Ring of Honor, the company, you also need you got these guys like ROH who obviously, if you take one look at this guy, I have just seen his squash match with Dalton Castle. But you take one look at that guy, he has star written all over him. You kind of need to justify why he should stick around past that 1 year. Mm-hmm. You need to do that. Mm-hmm. So you need to bring in some people. If you're Luke Harper, do you say, I mean, granted, he's probably friends with Bully Ray. You know, he might be. I don't know. But do you take a look at the place that's trying to bring in Enzo and Cass and say, yeah, I really want to help rebuild that place? Or do you take a look at, All Elite, which, as you've pointed out, there might be a spot for him given there's no real big men there. But there are a lot of really good in-ring technicians, in-ring talents.
And he's one of the big guys, though, that can hang in the ring with the highly athletic, those smaller talents.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, do you take an opportunity like Ring of Honor? But if you look at what's going on behind the scenes there, is that something you're really interested
Especially
in?
if there's any measure of upheaval going on back there, where there's battles going on over what to do creatively, and I don't know if that follows through with the business side of things. Who knows? But if there's a backstage struggle as far as creative, you don't really want to. You just leave a company where creative's all over the place.
Yeah.
And day to day, week to week, you don't know what you're doing, and you go to potentially Ring of Honor, a situation where there's various people jockeying for position within creative.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it doesn't seem like the move you'd want to make if you're looking for some measure of stability.
Yeah. Or, I mean, and honestly, this might be, I'm not going to say much ado about nothing, but it could be, a temporary thing where they're just getting things figured out.
Oh, entirely possible.
And all will be stable. And then you just got to analyze, okay, well, if let me hear your pitches. Because look, man, anybody who doesn't want Luke Harper is silly. I firmly believe, if you take a look, I mentioned this before also, if you were to come up with some sort of list, a listicle, if you will, at the top 5 talents in WWE that barely had their surface scratched.
Yeah.
Luke Harper might be number 1.
We got him. You got Tyler Breeze.
Because how many times did Luke Harper talk on the mic in WWE?
Very rarely.
Very rarely. So rarely.
90% of it was the vignettes for Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah. 90%. Yeah, exactly. And that did not, I don't think, reflect what I've seen, because I took a look at a couple of the Brody Lee promos from back in the day.
He did a couple before the Bludgeon Brothers.
He was himself for a very short period of time.
Yeah, he was doing stuff backstage.
Yeah,
on WWE.com.
Yeah,
just speaking, it was good. It was really good.
So I mean, and even in the ring, like we've always heard that he's fantastic. And then you take a look at how him, especially as a big man, moves around in the ring. He's a terrific wrestler.
Yeah, he is.
I'm telling you, man, they barely even scratched the surface in 5 years or however long it was he was at WWE.
Yeah,
in such in a long period of time. They barely scratched the surface with him being a sidekick to Bray Wyatt for so long, and then just sort of whatever. He could be something big.
Oh yeah,
in the right hands.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of and as Ring of Honor, you're trying to compete right now with the All Elite. I just think it's hilarious that people are like, how
we get eyeballs on our product? ENZO and CASS. That's the answer.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause that's one other thing Meltzer adds is he says, quote, there was decisions made with the idea of needing to reach a wider fan base and doing the supposed shoot thing with ENZO and CASS for attention that was divisive within the company. Well, here's the thing. And also, here's the thing. You got this. You're doing this show with New Japan. What is New Japan known for? Putting on the best in-ring action. The absolute best. Like show to show. So if that's the platform you have, go out there and put on the best matches that Ring of Honor can do. Don't do gimmicky stuff like this.
Yeah.
Especially when no one really seems to care about ENZO and CASS anymore.
Yeah. Dude, the last thing you want to be, if you're doing stuff like bringing in ENZO and CASS, guess what Ring of Honor's name is then going to be akin to Impact as of a couple of years ago?
Well, TNA. We'll say TNA.
TNA, yeah. Because these days, it's so funny how quickly, again, what has Impact done over the past, let's say, like 18 months? They've built up an amazing roster of talent.
They focus on putting on good wrestling.
And they have been, and if you remember, Trevor Lee, when you and I went to PWG, as a joke, he would be announced as Impact Wrestling star Trevor Lee. Even, what was it, Mania a year ago when they did the cross-promotional thing with Lucha Underground?
Yeah.
They were the de facto heels.
Yeah.
They just had to be the bad guys because they were Impact.
Yeah.
These days, that ain't the case.
No.
They're the scrappy little company that has just a ton of talent.
Ton of talent and a terrible TV deal.
And you know what they say? Hey, we're on Pursuit Channel. Guess what? We're on TV. If you don't have that, everybody has Twitch. They always try to make the most out of what they have. There's nobody out there. If you have an internet connection, You can watch Impact, and they try their damnedest to tell you, and maybe one day they'll get a good TV deal because their product's actually pretty
Another
good.
thing about Impact is you feel like a vast majority of the talents, or majority, are invested in the company.
They want to They want that company to succeed.
Yep.
They really truly
LAX
do.
could have signed anywhere.
Yeah.
And apparently they just they recently re-signed, I think.
I think so.
Same with Sammy Callahan. He probably could have re-signed. He could have signed
Sammy
anywhere.
has literally said he wants to be the guy who brings Impact back to prominence. You've got people like Ethan Page, Jordan Grace,
Brian Cage.
Moose keeps on re-signing there. Brian Cage. You've got, and people are still like the Radicals. They've signed there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what happens when you foster an environment that people want to be a part of. Yeah, they're on the hunting channel, but people are still going there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So they're doing something right behind the scenes. I mean, we saw Scott D'Amore and Don Callis at the Pyramid Show, the New Japan Pyramid Show. You know, they're doing their due diligence.
Yeah.
They're out there doing what they should be doing.
Totally. They're trying
And they
to make,
they didn't bring back Alberto.
No.
They didn't. And when
They have
Austin
yet to
Aries
bring back
left,
Austin Aries, yeah.
they have yet to bring him back.
Yeah.
Because maybe they read the landscape. People, even if that was the work, people weren't really into that. Okay, we're going to stay away from that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think ENZO and CASS is the answer.
No.
But then they have their fans out there. Just read our comments in this episode.
All right.
Why are you guys dumping on them? You gonna hit him back with some info?
No.
Well, no.
No, I said my piece here during the show.
There you go.
That's about it.
Anyways, speaking of...
Oh, you got a segue for this one?
Speaking of wrestlers that you do want to see...
But you can't.
John Cena
is
going to be joining. His movie career
this
is blown up.
Pretty huge. This is from Variety.
I got it. Sources tell Variety that Cena is in talks to join Idris Elba and Margot Robbie in Warner Brothers' follow-up to in the next Suicide Squad movie. It's currently unknown who Cena and Elba will be playing, although I read a thing that said he was going to be playing... Oh, crap. What's his name? Not Boomerang. Was Boomerang in that movie?
I thought so. Isn't that who... Yeah, Jai Courtney is Boomerang. He's going to be in it, too.
Okay. Not Deadshot, because that's Idris Elba.
No, Will Smith, it was Deadshot, but Elba...
He was, yeah.
But Elba is not going to be Deadshot.
Oh, he's not going to be Deadshot. Who's he going to be then?
It just says, currently unknown who Cena and Elba will be playing.
Who's going to be playing Deadshot then?
I don't think Deadshot's in the movie.
This is like a massive reboot. Although Margot Robbie's still in it?
Yeah, and Boomerang's still in it, too.
Same guy who played Boomerang.
Yeah.
What was that guy's name?
Jai Courtney.
He played... didn't he play Bruce Willis's kid in the Die Hard movie?
Oh, did he?
Was he?
Maybe.
Maybe I'm wrong about that. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that was him.
He was in one of the Terminator movies, too.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Wasn't he in one of the Terminator
He
movies?
was in...
Genesis.
Yeah. Genesis.
Genesis.
Another one they retconned out.
So, of course, Suicide Squad 2 is set to be helmed by Guardians of the Galaxy writer-director James Gunn, who, in Guardians of the Galaxy, casted one Dave Bautista in those movies as Drax.
Okay, that's what I heard. That Batista was they were gonna try to get Batista for this because of the James Gunn connection. His
Marvel contract wouldn't allow it?
No, his schedule is just too busy.
Gotcha.
So Cena's gonna play the character that Batista was gonna play.
Oh, that's interesting.
Let's
So,
see
anyways, it's interesting is Cena's had some decent roles. He was good in that Trainwreck. He was funny in that.
He was hilarious in that.
But he has yet to really have that breakout role.
True.
Could this be it? We've seen the results with Dave in Guardians of the Galaxy. That was his breakout role. He's a huge movie star now because of Drax and Guardians of the Galaxy. Can John Cena find the same level of Hollywood acting success thanks to James Gunn and a comic book movie? Yay or nay?
Yay. It took Rock forever.
Yeah.
Forever to get to the Fast and Furious
Yeah,
stuff.
pretty much it wasn't until the Fast and Furious movies that he became like the most high-paid movie star in the entire world.
It took a very long time.
Yes.
Let's see here. Man, none of these are... IMDb is doing me a disservice right now.
What are you looking for?
Let's find out who John Cena's going to play.
It just says in this thing that came out 2 days ago that they don't know.
Who doesn't know?
Oh, my gosh. Variety doesn't know. They're plugged into what's going on in Hollywood, man.
Let's see here. I got this.
All right.
So what do you think? Do you think this is going to help John Cena?
Heck yeah, man.
Well, here's the thing. It's James Gunn.
Yeah.
Everything he touches turns to gold. And, I mean, The thing that bums me, I don't know. I'm still kind of bummed that they didn't get Cena to play Shazam.
Yeah.
Because then you have the possibility of The Rock, who still wants to play Black Adam.
Well,
it still says it's going to happen.
In this Variety article, it says Cena was recently tapped by fellow WB alum Dwayne Johnson to star as in the Jansen Directive. Are they going to be in a movie together? Look up Jansen Directive. Jansen Directive.
With John Cena?
Yeah, and The Rock.
Oh, wow. That's great.
I don't know if they're going to star in it together or if it's going to be a producer thing where The Rock is producing. Oh, yeah, the only cast member announced is John Cena. I think I remember hearing The Rock's just producing it, but he better be in it.
I mean, if they never do.
Oh yeah, here it is. In the trivia for it says the role of Paul Jansen was originally meant for Dwayne Johnson, but due to Johnson's busy schedule, he was just made executive
they need
producer.
to do a buddy comedy. Give me a break. That's so much money right there.
I know. I'm saying they got to be in a movie together.
But anytime you're in here's my only thing. John Cena should be a character in the DCU large enough to be in the Justice League somehow. I don't know who. I mean, I can,
What are the other roster members of the Suicide Squad? There's Deadshot. There's Boomerang. Harley Quinn.
Killer Croc might be in it.
He was.
Honestly, like I wasn't like huge. Even the comic book version, I didn't really look at it. Oh, here we go.
What is that from?
So this is from ScreenGeek.net. This is what I read the other day. With Dave Bautista backing out due to scheduling conflicts, it would seem that the likely role Cena will be taking is that of Peacemaker. For those of you unaware, the character Peacemaker is a Rick Flag-esque vigilante who prefers non-lethal methods to handle villains, but is haunted by the ghosts of his victims from when he did kill, and they live in his helmet. The character actually started in Charlton Comics before DC bought out the rights.
Interesting. Send me that link, please.
Justin Kroll, that's who I read. Justin Kroll said, I couldn't confirm this, but believe Cena would be playing Peacemaker in the film.
There you go.
So
send me that link, please.
Maybe, maybe not.
There you go. You did your research. Good job.
See, you got to trust me sometimes, man. So yeah, no, I think it's great. I totally think that Cena, and I think Shazam would have been the perfect thing for him.
Oh yeah.
I really do. That could have been terrific. But he's too big a character. He's too big a personality, I think, to play Superman. Superman needs to be more of a Henry Cavill, understated kind of guy to carry the burden of the world on his shoulders. And in fact, I hope they're able to keep Henry Cavill. Oddly, the jury is still out apparently on the Henry Cavill thing.
That's interesting. I thought he was a perfectly fine Superman.
Yeah, but did you hear all the rigmarole about that? Like his publicist, I think, said he's out. He said he's in. There was all sorts of conflict back and forth. Like, is he in? Is he out? Sort of was left unknown. And then he came in for a cameo for the end credit scene of Shazam.
Yeah.
But in Shazam, spoiler alert, I'm about to spoil the end credit scene in Shazam, one of them. No, wait. No, it's just the very end of the movie. It's not an end credit scene. It's the very end of the movie. Last shot of the movie, basically. Shazam shows up, again, spoiler alert, at his friend's school who gets picked on a lot so that all the people think that he's cool now. And he says, yeah, I didn't come alone. And then Superman shows up, but you only see him from here down. But it's clearly Cavill's, the suit that they have for him anyways.
Yeah.
And the rumor was that he actually filmed that as a cameo, and then they cut it out because they don't think he's going to be Superman anymore. And then when somebody asked Zachary Levy on Twitter, hey, what was it like meeting Henry Cavill? He says, I didn't meet him. He was never there.
That's weird.
So either he's towing the company line in that, oh yeah, that never happened, or it actually did happen.
That's strange. It's really strange.
Like every time I think that would have been such a perfect thing to tie it in, because you need the positivity of Shazam, which everybody says is great, including myself. You need that positive rub, like Impact. It was crap. It had the negative rub. Now it's got the positive rub.
Yeah.
Well, DC's turning it around, and they're getting the positive rub now.
Yeah. But they need to get that rub on the other properties that
Right,
have been
exactly.
Greeted so positively. Yes.
Exactly.
Let's talk about money. Sports Business Daily has a really good and interesting piece on the WWE Performance Center that is worth a read. And one of the most interesting tidbits is the salary range for developmental talents. This is directly from Sports Business Daily. Quote, those signed developmental contracts are paid on average $50,000 to $150,000 a year. The overall average for those in developmental is about $80,000. Now, this is a lot more than we had heard previously. We heard they were not making very much money. But that was also granted years ago.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I had read that like the low end was 25,000.
Yeah.
I would suspect that the 25,000 number wouldn't have been for anybody we knew about.
Yeah.
That was probably for people coming in from MMA or football or whatever. Hey, let's try you out for a little while, and this is how much we're going to give you. And then everything, they get them an apartment and stuff like that. I suspect that Kushida's making 150.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, I mentioned, too, that...
Casey Catanzaro's probably making 50. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, people that... I mean, yeah, obviously, I think Kushida's probably making towards the upper end of that range.
Yeah.
I'm sure Adam Cole is, too.
Yeah.
All the Undisputed Era guys, Gargano, Ciampa, all the established guys, I'm sure are making the upper range, whereas the more developmental talents are probably making closer to the bottom. But this is still a significant increase over what we thought they were making, which was $25,000 a year.
Yeah, that's a double.
Yeah, that's pretty good, especially in Florida. There's no state income tax there.
Yeah. Well, they want they want people to be happy. And here's the thing: these days, especially these days, so I've never seen a Brendan Williams match.
Yeah,
but I sure know who he is.
Yeah, I know.
And they've obviously invested a lot of time into him because he's on up, down, down. He's got a gimmick.
I'm just going to raise a question here. So this could just be a semantic thing. Those signed developmental contracts. And I understand the distinction they're probably making with that, and that's why I say it's a semantic thing. Developmental, I assume they mean NXT contracts. But you could also interpret that as strictly developmental.
Yeah.
Where, like Adam Cole, he's not a developmental talent.
No.
Matt Riddle's not a developmental talent.
So you're talking about, assuming he's still with them, Stacey Irvin Jr. Yeah. I would have suspected that was on the 25,000 end of things, and he might be on the $50,000 end of things. Maybe Casey Catanzaro. She's been on TV a bunch of times. Maybe she's making 80. I don't know.
This is more so for the sake of conversation. I don't know if there's a whole lot of merit to this.
Yeah.
But I'll bring it up anyways because we'll probably need some time to pad in the show, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But I guess the point I was getting at is like Adam Cole, Matt Riddle, Ricochet. Those are guys who could have easily been brought up to main right away.
Ooh, Ricochet's making that big money now.
Yeah, he is now.
Yeah.
So, and again, this is just for the sake of conversation. Say this salary range is for purely developmental talents. People that are being brought in, signed, who don't have a whole lot of wrestling experience, which 150 would sound like quite a bit.
That's a ludicrous amount of money for just a developmental contract.
Yeah. So you'd think the upper end of that would have to be for the top tier NXT guys.
I would think that they bring Kushida in at 150
with the idea that you'll be here for a year and then on main triple that,
and
if not more.
There's probably, I mean, I don't know if so for a guy like Kushida.
But here's the thing. Hold on. I'm guessing New Japan probably could offer Kushida a pretty handsome salary.
Yeah, that's why I was going to say WWE, for a guy like Kushida, a big deal. They probably say, here's $500,000 signing bonus.
Maybe. Because that's why,
Cause,
especially considering Kushida, like, he can probably make double, if not triple that from New Japan.
Yeah, right.
So is it just the allure of potentially working for WWE being enough to have him come over, maybe get a decent signing bonus, and the prospects of making a lot more money after he leaves NXT? Would that be enough, or is this? That's why I originally had this idea that it says developmental contracts. It's like, is this just strictly for developmental talents? Whereas I
would be really surprised if
the more main roster ready guys exist on this separate salary system. I don't know.
I suspect this. I suspect that developmental covers
NXT.
Everybody.
That's my assumption as well.
That would be my assumption. I'd be really surprised if, yeah. Because here's the thing also. You're living in Florida and no state income tax,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the cost of living's cheaper.
I'm pretty sure, unless he's going to go out and get his own place, WWE provides
Housing, yeah.
On top of that, Kushida, he's 36.
Mm-hmm.
He's got kids and a wife. He's got a family. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Shinsuke Nakamura said, man, it's way easier on the body. You don't have to work as much. The matches are easier on the body. And you can surf a lot. Family loves it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if Shinsuke loved it. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's like, yeah, he's not WWE champion. But at that age, maybe the end-all be-all to Shinsuke was Tokyo Dome. And then you go to WWE for a big paycheck.
This is working
to take
retirement.
It easy.
This is working retirement.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a Walmart greeter.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? That wouldn't surprise me at all. Once
Yeah.
you reach a certain age, I mean, he's our age, maybe a little bit younger. He's like 30.
I think he's 39.
39?
38
Yeah.
or 39.
So, like, at a certain point, it's like, man, it's chill. It is chill. I surf all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. No. Again, it's just for just broaching the conversation because
I would be really surprised if house show circuit guys are making 150.
Yeah, no.
Like deep cuts that aren't on TV.
Well, I don't think they'd be the like Velveteen Dream. He's a developmental guy.
Yeah.
Like if he was making 150, but then because it's just the idea of like I'm sure Matt Riddle was getting huge offers from people. And would he?
But I also wonder if guys like Matt Riddle. So like guys like Matt Riddle are kind of interesting because he's kind of on the younger-ish side. Was he
Yeah.
like 32, 33?
Yeah, he's in his early 30s.
Okay. Guys like him, he literally said, "There's nothing left for me to do."
Oh, on the indie scene, yeah, totally.
And so a guy like him might be brought in at 100 because he's got a lot of offers out there, but it's like he knows his value and he understands that I can take it easy for a little while in NXT and then jump up to the $500,000 range up on main roster, understanding that I'll take a little bit of a pay cut. And he might have gotten a signing bonus too.
Yeah, maybe without knowing the particulars, I'm sure we'll never know the particulars of any of this. It's just an interesting discussion to see this because you assume again guys like Adam Cole. I'm sure Ring of Honor probably was able to throw a good amount of money at him.
Yeah.
Not to mention what offers he might have got from New Japan.
I mean, being in WWE alone has got to be some of the allure.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? That's got to be a deal. And then understanding like what you can make potentially off of merchandise.
And I wonder how much of that is
toys.
I mean, obviously the merchandising stuff from the NXT aspect has to be written to the contract. But if there's any numbers in the contract, okay, post NXT on main, what is the salary bump going to be?
Yeah, it could be.
Just curious. I have no idea.
That's possible. Yeah, I have no idea.
It'd be interesting to find that out someday, though we probably never will.
Probably never will, man. They're very guarded.
Yes, they are.
Let's do this now. Answer questions.
Question time.
All right, question time.
Kirsten Harwood. We're around the time that Raw and SmackDown changes the theme intro songs. What would you like them to be?
All right, man. You
Not.
get your
I don't
pick.
want anybody lip syncing to Slipknot. That's one thing I do not want.
Yeah.
God, it's painful to watch that.
It's Slipknot. It was just Slipknot.
It is Slipknot.
I was
Yeah.
disturbed. It is painful to watch that.
It
It's
is
so bad.
so painful.
The
to
rest
watch
of it is totally cool too.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah. Okay. So if I had my pick, Raw theme song. You know what, man? I always like those NXT like songs that they choose. I really like those songs. So I would have whoever chooses those. I don't know if it's CFO $. I thought I had heard once that Corey Graves has something to do with choosing those songs.
I'm gonna be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. There's a vetting process and they're presented to Triple H. Triple H makes a final decision.
Whoever's out
Triple H
there
is a bit of a
finding
metalhead.
those songs, I trust them. Like the Code Orange one.
Yeah.
That was cool. Use that.
Yeah.
Use something cool, man.
Yeah, no more Nickelback.
No more Nickelback, please. Raw doesn't even have an intro. Bring back the goddamn intro.
I don't mind. There's no intro. I just want the show to get started. It's like YouTube videos. I don't care about
Oh,
opening
it
graphics.
gets me hyped, dude.
Nah.
Oh, it gets me hyped.
Quality programming gets me hyped.
The best thing about 205 Live is their intro. This is war. Now this is war.
Usually they've just been doing video packages to kick off the shows. They haven't been having those graphics in a
Nah,
while.
man, they have them every single week.
I feel like more often than not, it's Drake Maverick kicking off the show.
It kicks off the show, but they always launch after he does his spiel.
Okay.
They give us that thing. I always pay attention. I don't know why I pay attention to that, but I do.
Alex Payne, what is the most random WWE theme song on your playlist? I only have 4, I believe, on my Spotify.
Well, what qualifies as random?
I don't know.
Because I've got Undisputed Era on mine.
Yeah, I have that.
I've got Aleister Black on mine.
I have that, and I think I have Asuka.
For a time, I had Asuka.
And Street Profits.
That's good.
It's a good song, man.
That is good. I can see how that gets you jazzed.
Heck yeah. Toxic Trent, who's the next to get the rename treatment from Vince?
Oh, man.
Alistair. Just Alistair.
It's
or
just
Al.
going to be Aleister.
Or Al. You could call me Al.
What? How does it?
Dun, 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 dun.
Baby, if you're, you can call me. What's that lyric?
They can do a music video with him and Ricochet, where he'll just be Rick.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Call me Al, John. Let's see here. Mitchell Daly, who has the best theme in WWE today, most suiting their character, and also just badass factor.
Alistair's up there. Asuka. Undisputed Era.
Yeah. I mean, there's no. I don't think there's any like. There's no. But I'm trying to think of like somebody who's sort of underrated, who's got like an underrated theme. I'm sad we haven't had more Keith Lee. I want to see more Keith Lee for his theme because he's got a really good theme.
I think Ember Moon's got a good theme.
Leo Rush has a really good theme that you never get to hear anymore.
Yeah. I came to collect.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Vinny Elliott. Have you guys watched any Dark Side of the Ring yet? If so, what do you guys think?
We just watched the Montreal. Well,
today
I watched most of the Montreal Screwjob one while working on Matt Chat. Anyways,
we watched the Montreal Screwjob. What'd you think of that one?
Most of the story beats,
Sure.
This is the first time I can recall hearing Jim Cornette speak about it.
It was literally the first time. In fact, Dave Meltzer on Twitter, somebody asked him, they said something like, you've said for years that you know who laid out the Montreal Screwjob, and you haven't been allowed to say, were you referring to Cornette? And he said, yes.
Interesting.
Not surprising that Russo took credit.
Yeah, not surprising at all. But Cornette, he's a consummate showman, so he's wildly entertaining in it.
I love Jim Cornette. I think he's great.
And so, like, it is interesting.
And dude, sorry, not to cut you off. This is the thing. Jim Cornette might have landed in my top guys that I'd love to just sit down and talk to about wrestling because of his approach. This is why I know he's the guy that is telling the truth with the who is it.
Yeah.
Because he actually had the reason for why he suggested what he suggested. Because when Vince asks him, what would you do, smart guy, in terms of how would you book the Brett finish? Cornette explained why he thought of the double cross. Because he said in 1931, there was the original double cross
In Montreal.
And I forget the names of the participants.
Yeah.
But it was in the 1930s, and it had to do with a bite on a guy. And then he said that's what you do. That you use his own finisher against him. And he laid out why. All Russo said was, I came up to him. He didn't. There was no backstory there. I believe Cornette 100,000%.
Well, I love the bit where he's like, Michael doesn't do the sharpshooter right, but Brett's not going to publicly complain about that because it's going to expose the business.
Yes, and he's never going to do that. What's he going to do? Tell the papers? It was perfect logic there, and it was so brilliant. Mm-hmm. It was so brilliant.
The story was like, as soon as he saw what was going to happen, he was at the monitor. He left, got in his car.
Yeah.
He said he saw headlights behind him. He's like, oh, that's got to be Earl Hebner.
His story is too realistic. It's too believable.
He's got all the details, man.
He's got all the details. Give me a break, Vince Russo. Give me a break.
I know.
He just swoops in and tries to take credit. Give me a break. No, I thought it was because you're right. Like a lot of it we knew because of obviously
Wrestling with Shadows and all the other, it's been a fairly well-examined moment in wrestling history, but for the first time to have Jim Cornette involved with it.
And Cornette said, there's nothing more you can learn from interviews today with anybody that you can't get more out of by reading from all the old wrestling magazines and books of the past. Mm-hmm. And it shows his attic or whatever it is, his library of just countless, endless wrestling magazines. And he looks, that shot, I know you were over here doing your work, and he was over there. I don't think that's my car.
No, it's just two honks.
And you see the camera follow him through his library, And he's not looking at the camera. They're following him, and he's doing this, waving them, and he's kind of half running like a little kid
he's happy.
wanting to show off his toys.
Yeah.
It's really good. I definitely suggest
else.
checking it out. It's on Viceland's website, and I'm interested in watching the rest of them. Maybe
me too.
Sometime like Thursday next week we can watch
and
then talk about another one like the Bruiser Brody one or something.
Justin Warren, you guys have booked WWE pay-per-views, and you will be booking AEW soon. Is there any chance we can see Steven Larson book AAA Triple Mania?
Once Triple Mania comes around, I'm sure we'll do something like that.
Yeah.
I think that could be a lot
Dr.
of fun.
Ryder wins everything.
So here's the only problem with that. The only problem with us booking AAA, we can't do it better.
That's true.
Because all their gimmicks are so out of sight, like at crazy. Mm-hmm. We couldn't match up with that. Nothing we do would be better. No. Everything we do with Steven Larson, but make no mistake, what we do with Steven Larson Book Raw is 100% better than WWE does it.
You mean pen, please? Yes, agreed.
But I don't think we could do AAA better.
No. Wookie Steak, would you please do going in around math for Zack Sabre Jr. and David Starr? So let's do Zack Sabre Jr. first. In ring, 10.
He might be another 10.
10. Promo. Very underrated promo.
Dude, like a 9. Have you ever heard his promo? It's amazing.
They're great. Look. He just looks like a normal dude.
He's big. He's a tall bean.
He's thicker than you think.
Yeah.
Like his legs got some thickness to it. But he's tall. He's pretty tall.
He looks cool, but he's just a big stretchy guy.
Yeah.
It's like Stretch Armstrong.
No, let's say 5 for look.
You can give him a 6.
6? Because he's in good shape.
Yeah.
Legacy. I mean, he hasn't been around that long, but he's generally regarded as the best technical wrestler in the world right now.
He's like he's like maybe top 5 for me right now.
I know, he's great.
So good.
He has still a lot for him to do, but he was Zachy 3 belts at one point.
Right now, I'd give him a 6 because it's still early in his career.
Kayfabe, he's generally booked pretty strong.
He's booked strong, like upper mid card strong, but not like main event strong.
So I consider that a 7 kayfabe.
I'd give him a 7 kayfabe.
8+ and being good. That sounds about right. He's a 7 on the dot.
And that's early.
Yeah,
that's early.
By the time he retires, he's going to be in the high 8s at least.
Yeah.
Let's do David Starr. We've seen some of his work.
Yeah.
In ring, he's a good wrestler.
He's a really good wrestler. I'd give him like a 7, I guess.
Promo, he's a great promo.
He's a really good promo. I'd give him
a 9.
I'd give him an 8.
Looks
like a dude. Just looks like a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give him like a 6 because looks like a cool guy.
Yeah. Legacy.
I don't know. Right now, I'd probably put him at like a 4 because I don't know what else he's gonna. I mean, is he a guy that's gonna? How old is David Starr?
He hasn't really expressed any interest whatsoever in going to someplace like WWE.
Seems like a very. He's only 28.
Oh wow.
He's not old enough to have crafted a legacy yet. Boy, he's got a killer lineup of trainers. Guys who trained him. Adam Cole, Combat Zone Wrestling Academy, Drew Gulak, Sammy Callahan.
Oh, man.
Wild Samoan Pro Wrestling Training Center. He's only been wrestling for 7 years.
Okay.
So, I mean, give him a 4 right now.
Yeah, it's only going to go up.
Yeah, it's going to go up.
He's really good.
Once he hits like 33, we'll see where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
Because by then he's going to do everything he can possibly do on the independent circuit. He'll have to go to NXT, New Japan, something. I could see him being with All Elite in a couple years.
Totally.
If All Elite's like a deal.
Kayfabe. Again, I don't really know.
I mean, I guess to give him a 5. Because, like, he wins matches, but he probably also loses matches.
Yeah, so right now it's a 5+, but that's only going to go up.
And he's young.
Everything I've seen of him, I've been really impressed, though.
I really like him. I think he's terrific.
Yeah. Chris Kimmel, how will Vince react to Adam Cole's name when we already have Michael Cole? Adam Bebe doesn't have a good ring to it. He'll be Adam Cole. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it concerns me. It's going to be, I hope it's not something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I really kind of want them to wait until Vince isn't looking or isn't around or whatever.
Max Zero, as pointed out by Ember Moon on Twitter, Becky's walking a fine line between being a badass and just a bully. What are the odds she'll have a lengthy reign with at least one of the belts? And WWE does a CM Punk where they turn her heel more naturally during her run.
I think it'd be an awesome template if they did that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the odds are. I feel like she's gonna have one of those titles for a long time, probably the Raw one for a long time.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too.
Unless they really think she's a big deal and they keep her on for Fox.
That could be.
Daryl W. Perry. Kayfabe reason music plays for someone interfering in a match. So somebody comes interferes and they stand tall and their music plays. I think there's no kayfabe reason for music.
No, there's
that doesn't
zero.
exist.
No, zero.
Kayfabe music, like music playing in kayfabe, is simply like the power levels on that person being so off the charts
that the music just spontaneously plays.
Right.
Or you're kind of hearing almost like an inner monologue that's projected through the speakers in the arena.
Right, exactly.
But instead of words, it's music.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm not going to do this, but that's pretty funny. Gigabyte asks if we can get a diagram, a Kevin Nash-esque diagram of the difficulty in booking fun WCW and We Book Raw.
Oh, that's more just the scheduling. Yeah, this is the scheduling issue. We do have a calendar over there.
So this is why We Book Raw is actually as good as I think it is. Because you're more of a logistics guy than I am. And you do that very well.
Oh, thank you.
So you'll sit there and you'll plot out from idea to pay-per-view, and then I'll take the people involved and just completely come up with the stupid gimmicks. And then you'll bounce back off me in terms of the gimmick.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, this guy's going to be this or whatever.
Yeah.
How about he cuts a promo where he talks about this? And then literally while we're filming, while we're doing it, something silly will happen, and we'll turn that into an entire story.
Yeah. So much of, about 65% of what I've done with fun wrestling thus far has just popped up based on something that's happened.
Yeah.
Either during, like while we're playing, something happening in game, something, you said. Mm-hmm. It's put a little idea in my head and start running with it.
Steve
I had no plans of Triple H ever being in fun wrestling.
Yeah, but then he just ran in.
He showed up, and now
he
can't not work Triple H into a storyline.
Yeah. WCW I sort of planned out, and then it's just sort of going where it's going. I have an idea as to what I'm going to do with it, but honestly, it's the last thing on my priority list. So I
actually have all the major story beats for fun wrestling planned out until we're done with it.
Yeah, that's good.
Until Interdimension Tension 2.
Yeah, I'm just sort of letting it go where it's going to go. I know the big mystery beats. I know what the answers to those are, but I just sort of, it's so on the last line of priority, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll just do some tweets and then do some matches.
Oh, Mr. Triple Mania, are you guys considering trying to go to the AAA Lucha Libre debut show at Madison Square Garden in August? I would love to. We're going to Vegas for Double or Nothing. I don't know if we can afford it. I think it'd be great, though.
Yeah, it's one of those things, if they did it in L.A.
Oh, hell yes.
It would be a definite yes. It would be an absolutely.
Excellence of Flexecution. Larson, Endgame is out in 6 days. Have you watched Infinity War yet? Steve, make it happen. I have not watched it yet.
I have no control over it, although I do know you have an empty house for a couple days.
That ends today.
Oh, I thought you had a couple. Okay.
Nope.
Well, I guess it's not going to happen. Dominic Molnar, what is one of the tiniest details you would like to change for WWE's production?
Tiniest details? They got rid of the crane, so that's good on SmackDown. They don't do the crane anymore. Tiniest stop using the broadcast cameras for backstage stuff.
Yeah.
Use DSLRs or something with a little more cinematic look. Interesting questions. Daryl W. Perry, rebook the original Star Wars trilogy with the cast of Star Trek.
Oh, my God. Okay,
so of course, Shatner's got to be Han Solo.
Shatner's definitely Han Solo.
Leonard Nimoy is C-3PO.
Yeah, that's good. Chekhov is Luke Skywalker.
All right.
Because he was the younger one.
Yeah, a bit brash.
Do we have an Obi-Wan yet? That's got to be Sulu.
Okay.
Supreme confidence in his ability.
Yeah.
What were the names of the Raider guys?
Oh, the Tusken Raiders?
Yeah. What was that line? Oh, wait, no. How about this? Mos Eisley Space Station.
Oh.
You'll know my. Don't call me Shorty. Oh, my. You'll never find More wretched hive of scum and villainy.
It's pretty good. Nick Bartlett. Who should take the Universal title off of Seth Rollins between these two, Cedric Alexander or The Miz?
Had a dream, I did it, dog.
I would like to see that.
It'd be The Miz.
Yeah, probably.
The Miz.
I'd like to see Cedric get that, though.
The Miz is on a face run right now that could legitimately see people will him to the Universal title scene.
Absolutely.
It totally could. What heel could he take that Universal title off of? Drew.
Uh-huh.
Could you imagine Miz standing up to Drew?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
Imagine Drew just runs roughshod over Raw for 6 months.
Yeah. Boy, people would love to see.
And Miz stands up to him, yeah.
Yeah, they'd love to see that. One more question, Larson. Find a good one.
All right. Stevie Bradley, this is going for you. Does the thought of death frighten either of you?
Yes! Are you kidding me? It should frighten everybody. Here's what it is, man. I am a lucky, lucky man. I love my life, everything in it, and I'm terrified of losing it. I don't want to leave this mortal coil just yet. I don't ever want to leave it. That's where I stand on it.
I mean, it's not like I look forward to it, but I wouldn't describe my feeling as fearful.
Yeah, man.
I just feel like
it should be.
Death is a natural conclusion of life.
That's a very robotic response. Once you actually confront it, once you're face to face with it,
I don't think it's robotic. I feel like
you'll be terrified.
I feel like no, because I hope by the point I'm at, if I am laying in my deathbed, hopefully at an advanced age, I'm laying there and thinking, okay, well, I lived the best life I could.
Scratching and clawing.
Now you gotta make peace with it.
Dude, I honestly don't think you understand what like being confronted with nothingness is.
Oh, I've pondered it.
No, man, I don't think you really thought.
No, I have.
Your final thought is going to be this: Steve was right.
No, because I would never give you that satisfaction. I would not willfully think such a thought because that would mean
your true feelings will betray you.
No,
Steve was right.
Nope. Nope.
That's how it's going to go down, man. You say no, but I know better.
No, you don't.
Anyways.
You don't know me.
Thanks so much.
You think you know me.
Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Hope you guys have a good weekend. And, watch Wrestle Blood.
Yeah, sure.
Coming up soon. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.